This is another SanRenMu that you don't see a lot of reviews on. There may be a couple of other ones that I've come across on YouTube, but all in all, it's the 710. It's the other 7 series that are really popular. This is the T-21. And I like this blade, although it's not my favorite. Again, being the price that it is, you can't really complain. Let me go through the features of this a little bit. Here's a tip down right side pocket clip, and it's not interchangeable. And this is sort of like a polymer. It's not. I don't think it's G10. It's just some kind of plastic polymer scale. It's quite a thick scale. And I guess there's a reason why it has to be this thick. I mean, this whole thing is pretty thick. Let me again compare this to a 9mm bullet. The base of that 9mm bullet right there, that's pretty thick. Why does it have to be so thick? Well, partially it's got to do with these tools they've got in the back. I don't believe they make the T-21 anymore. They make other ones. Here we've got a bottle opener, can opener. On the other side, we've got a belt cutter. And all that's got a pivot, all that's got to have its own mechanism to make it work. So there's a lot of parts in this knife compared to, let's say, the 733. And you can see how much thicker that is compared to the 733. On the very end here, again, there's the glass breaker. If you get in a car accident, you're stuck in your car, you can't get out, doors are jammed. If you got this within your reach, grab it, break a window, cut off your seatbelt, and hopefully you can crawl out before the car explodes. Okay, and the blade is kind of a modified drop point with a false edge on the top. Has a nice belly, has a real nice belly, so there's a lot of workable blade edge there, and it's really sharp, just as all SanRenMus are. The liner lock is not the strongest I've ever seen, and it's really thin. That's a thin piece of metal. Again, they had to make this liner pretty thin, also to sort of accommodate having these tools in here and scales without the whole thing being much thicker than it already is. And I guess to kind of compensate for this weak liner lock, there is a CRKT style locking mechanism in the back. So if you don't push down on this, you can't push the liner back out of the way to close the knife. So I could see some getting used to for people that are not used to having this locking mechanism. What you've got to do is you got to pull that down with your index finger, push that back, release the index, and close that way. This kind of golf ball dimples are pretty good, actually. It's not too rough on your hands, and when you got it fully deployed, you can get a good handle on it. Jimping is decent, maybe a little bit on the slippery side, and it's kind of a thick blade in this dimension. So there's a lot of blade surface. The pocket clip again is not interchangeable, and that is partially because of the tools on the other end. So it's tip down carry only. And it's not swappable to the other side, and I don't know why that is. They could have just done the same setup on the other side. Maybe it's because that it's asymmetrical, so the same pocket clip cannot be used on this side, and they don't want to be spending the extra money and selling it at this price to give you another clip, which some knives do, like my my CRKT. Which one is that? I forget the name of it, but it comes with two. But I'll show you that one later on in a different review. For this knife, serves its purpose for what it is. Probably not the best everyday carry if you're not into the thickness of this knife and scales. But keep one in your car. You never know when you're going to need it. There it is. SanRenMu T-21.